Okay, found this Thule cargo box. This is a Cascade big cargo box at a yard sale for 45 bucks. Looks like it tipped over something that's missing a piece here, and it's cracked on the other side as well. So it was duct taped up. They said they'd used it that way for quite a while, and it's probably fine. But I'm gonna try to repair it and see how this works. So I had a 12 by 12 sheet of acrylic laying around. Sounds like online that it said the box is made of ABS, but I don't have any ABS plastic, so I think I'll use this to reinforce the large area that's cracked, and I might do some epoxy and some of that mesh tape over this, depending on how that turns out. So I just cut this in half with my grinder. It was messy. And so now I've got the other half in the oven at 300 degrees. And I'm going to leave it in there for about 15 minutes. It's getting pretty soft. My wife doesn't know I'm using the oven for this. So you can see it's pretty pliable. I put this on a pizza stone, so hopefully when I move it, it'll stay warm until I get it formed. So I'm gonna have to use a couple pieces because it's cracked all the way back here. I want to make sure the whole crack was covered, so I got some of these heavy leather gloves. Pulled it off the pan and then just held it in place. Tried to make it as smooth as possible. The piece is going to go on the inside, but it'd be really hard to mold this to the inside shape. The inside shape is the same as the outside shape, more or less. So I'm going to mold it on the outside and then use some epoxy and rivets to hold it in place on the inside. So it's all cooled off now. Worked pretty good. I forgot to mention the side. This has two sides. It's got this textured side and this smooth side. This is the side I want to glue to the surface. So I got some sandpaper and just really roughed up this whole area. I'm going to rough up the inside of the cargo box too before I glue it, and probably wipe it down with some acetone. That kind of gets rid of any oily residue that tends to be on plastic. Okay, I've got both pieces molded. I might do a third piece along here, but I can't decide. So anyway, you can see got the smooth side out because that will be on the inside. Once the first piece was done, I kind of taped it in place so I could line up the second piece with it. And we'll try gluing them in tomorrow. Okay, so I've got a piece fit up in there. You can see let's see, this isn't quite up against the plastic on the inside. So what I did is got these 1/8 inch rivets. Choose an 1/8 inch bit and held the piece in place underneath here and popped these two holes in, and then put the panel up in there. Now the rivets, I haven't set them yet, but they're tight enough that they'll hold that piece in place. Once that was in place, I did a couple more just all on this top side, because I'm gonna hit this bottom side with a heat gun. Let's see if I can snug it up a little bit more before I glue it and set the rivets. Okay, so I've got my first piece here. See all the holes? It's ready to glue. So I prep the underside with acetone. Rub this down with acetone. That's going to get rid of any oils and keep the glue from sticking. And so ready to go. Okay, the other thing I realized was I didn't have nearly enough epoxy to do this, and I don't want to go to the store. So I do have, this is 100% pure silicone, which should stick really well since this is all degreased and ready to go. Plus it'll be a little more flexible, so it might actually be a positive. Banana Boy says it worked. So you can see I set all the rivets. Did I say ribbit? Rivets? You can see I wish it's a little more silicone, but there's a good glob of it all along that crack. Looks like it's sucked up pretty tight, so not bad. Okay, it's all done. Not sure what I'm going to do to cover up this outside, but it's really rigid now. Worked out really well. I did a third piece that comes down past this crack,